Pillar 1, website design. Website design, an essential initial part of internet marketing. I'm going to have a look at behind-the-scenes coding, on-site optimization, precise relevance of each page, and conversion rates. Okay, let's have a look at behind-the-scenes coding. Now, it has to be as efficient as possible. I don't want to get too much into the technical nature of the coding here, but it simply means that if someone uses a piece of software like Dreamweaver, if anyone's heard of it, to create your website, what it can do is spit out too much duplication of code, and that can actually slow the process of your web page opening up on different web browsers. Now, you just have to ask your coder the question, have you ensured that my website coding is as efficient as possible? No duplication of code, ordered correctly for search engines. Now, for on-site optimization, there are 6 essential aspects that I'd like to go through. First of all, page title. Now, I'm going to show an example of one of the websites that I actually own myself, just as an example. And that's a website called buildyourownbusiness.biz. Now, the page title is the very top part of the page there in the blue bar. You've probably noticed it in a few different websites. Now, this particular page title, so it's the brand, then it's free business articles and management advice. The page title, an essential part of where you actually have your own keyword phrases yourself. One of my important keyword phrases is business articles. So that's why business articles is actually within the page title. Number 2, something called a meta description. Now, that's an essential part of people clicking through to your website after finding you in search engines. I'll show you in a second where the meta description is actually displayed in search engines, but if you go into a web page and you right-click on your mouse button and click on the option called View Source, then you get a page up something like this. Now, near the very top is something called the meta description there. Now, that's getting into coding a little bit too much, so I don't want to cover too technical stuff, as I'm saying, but if you type in business articles into Google, you'll find that that particular website, buildyourownbusiness.biz, is #1 for the phrase business articles. Now, the reason it is that is because it's got business articles in the title and business articles in a few other places, and a few other reasons that I'll get into in a second. But if you have a look at the meta description that I was talking about, that's listed here. So that really helps in the click-through rate. If you have a high click-through rate on search engines, that's something that search engines will actually use to determine that your website is extremely relevant for that phrase and will be more likely to rank you higher for that in the future. Okay, number 3, heading tags. Heading tags are actually what's behind this heading here, latest business articles. Again, view source, and you'll be able to see the heading tags behind the heading, but this is what the heading tags actually look like. All it is a H1/H1, either side of the heading. Makes a massive difference by incorporating your keywords within heading tags. Whichever phrases are what your pages are about, that's a key area for increasing your appearance in search engines. Taking us on to the 4th area, alt and title tags. Now, alt and title tags are something that appear behind links and images. They are short for alternative tags and were used initially when search engines, rather browsers actually, struggled to actually display images sometimes depending on your connection speed. So what they used to do was actually display these phrases instead of the pictures themselves. But it's a great way, again, of telling search engines what your page is about. So what I've got here in this particular image at the top is if you hold your mouse over it, you'll see the word business articles. Now, this is telling search engines, again, that's what the page is about. It really must be about that, so we're more likely to actually rank the page higher. You'll have the author alt tag behind this image here as well. Now, this is the worst slide I've got in terms of being technical. It might be absolutely horrific to some people, but please just bear for a second and just have a look at what it's about. This is basically the coding behind an image on the website. And what it's telling you is this is the link for the image, so it's linking to the home page of the website. This is actually the location of the image, so that's the image file itself. But these are the two important things here that I'm talking about. Business articles logo, business articles logo. These alt and title tags will actually display these alternative pieces of text if the image for some reason doesn't display, but it also tells search engines what the page is about. An excellent piece for search engine optimization. Okay, number 5, keyword-rich navigation. Okay, keyword-rich navigation. Now you've probably seen quite a few different websites that actually have keyword navigation at the bottom of the websites without actually really knowing what it was. If you see at the bottom of different websites, there's, for example, this website, obviously, it's got business articles, business administration articles, change management articles. They're all text links to different pages on the website. Now what this is telling search engines is that's what these pages are about. So optimizing web pages is all about on-site optimization, on-page optimization, getting the page itself as efficient as possible, and also getting the links into that page as efficient as possible. So if you've got links into a page called Change Management Articles, saying Change Management Articles, that's again you saying to search engines, that's definitively what that page is about. Okay, so going on to that page, that's the title, Change Management Articles. Again, it's got that in the heading, and it's got that in other parts of the page. On-site optimization is also about good URL format. Now, your URL is your website address. Your website address is your domain name, whatever it might be, buildyourownbusiness.biz, but your URL is your page name for every single page. So, for example, that particular page would have been buildyourownbusiness.biz/change management articles. That's the most efficient structure of a URL format without introducing lots of other code into the URL and confusing search engines as to what that page might actually be about. Okay, also precise, relevant of each page. You need to have one specific topic per page. Imagine if you have lots of different topics unrelated in one page. It's very difficult for search engines to actually decipher what that page is really about. So try and be very specific in terms of subject matter, what is contained in each page. It must have a logical progression both for search engines and users. Often more is less. You can have anything between maybe 200 and 800 words on a page. You can have slightly more if you want, but keep it all pertinent to a particular subject. And one call to action. This is very relevant for your readers, not for search engines. This will significantly improve your conversion rates. If you've got one end goal that you want your consumers to go through when viewing a web page, then the likelihood is they certainly are going to do that. Okay, conversion rates. What's your goal per visitor? How do you measure your goals? Make sure you capture people's contact details. Even if it's just a name and an email address, you can get back to them personally in the future. Remember, if someone visits your website but you don't capture their details, you have no real way of getting back in touch with them in the future. You've lost them potentially as a good contact in the future for your business. Remember to test different page copy as well. There's a very conventional marketing viewpoint, but Internet marketing has a lot of the same principles as conventional marketing. Okay, so that's pillar 1, website design. We've had a look at behind-the-scenes coding, on-site optimization, getting that really right, the precise relevance of every single page, and conversion rates. That's an essential starting point of your internet marketing strategy.